But also on night 2, we had Okada defending the IWGP Championship against his old rival, the former champion, Hiroshi Tanahashi, breaking Tanahashi's record of 11 successful IWGP title defenses. Okada now stands at 12. He promised on the mic after the match to make it 13 against Kenny Omega next month. So, let me back up a little bit here. The match itself, Okada-Tanahashi, this is the one match I wanted to go out of my way to make sure I watched. I've not seen a bad Okada-Tanahashi match, and there's been a lot of them. But no surprise, another excellent match between these two in their series of matches over the years. Okada wins here with the Rainmaker. Kenny Omega did come out after the match. Okada was on the mic talking about Orgetto, and they were talking about all the people Okada has beaten. Omega came out, and Okada suggested their next meeting be no time limits, because they had that one match that went the 60 minutes. So he suggested no time limits, and Omega said, well, why don't we make it 2 out of 3 falls for the championship at the Dominion show next month in Osaka. And so that is where we are now headed. We are headed to one more match here between Okada and Omega for the championship. 2 out of 3 falls, no time limit. Over 680 days now as the champion for Okada. That guarantees that he will pass the 700-day mark. 700 consecutive days as the champion. And next month is going to be 2 years. It will be 2 years next month for Okada as the IWGP champion. Brock Lesnar is now in his second year as the technically he's now just begun his second year as the Universal champion, but he's nowhere near being close to 2 full years. It's just not something that we're used to seeing today in wrestling. This was a lot more commonplace 30, 40 years ago, even 25 years ago. You had some title reigns that were that long. Bruno, obviously, you think of Bruno Sammartino, who just passed away. We were talking about him. 8 years. His first run. 8 straight years as the WWF champion. And then even after that, 4 more years as the champion. Yet Bob Backlund had that title for almost 6 years. Hulk Hogan, his first title run, almost 4 years. Or it was 4 years. Bob Backlund, I mentioned Backlund already. But, Ric Flair, NWA, right? His first reign as the NWA champion lasted over 600 days. Samoa Joe in Ring of Honor. Who could forget his run as the Ring of Honor champion? He had that title for over 600 days as well. That's the run that put Joe on the map. Probably got him a job with TNA. But you just don't see that as much anymore. And it feels like the time is right. It feels like, it kind of felt like the time was right with Naito, and they didn't pull the trigger. But now with Omega, it feels like the time is right to put that title on Omega.